Alright, so now I'm going to show you the completely revamped, completely redone lighting options of Photoshop CS6. So let's take this lady, open up in Camera Raw, and let's do some fast retouching with her. Let's open up the shadows, boost the exposure a little bit, boost the contrast, maybe clarity to the right. Yeah, something like this. Yeah, a bit more exposure, and that's it. I just don't want to go into much on this. Open up image. So I'm in Photoshop CS6 with the image, the raw image. Now what I wanted to show you, you see the background, how it's evenly light. It's a bit kind of boring. I show you something. Let's duplicate the background and let's go into this new filter. It's not a new filter, but they redone it completely. You go into render, lighting effects. Now see how the interface is exactly the same than the one with the blur filter. Now I've already prepared this, so let me erase this light. Just putting it in the trash can. So usually you start off with a spotlight. Now the way a spotlight works is just like, well, that's what it is, a spotlight. Now so you can move around, you know, the spotlight. So you have the outer circle, and so you've got different sliders here. Colors, let's take each one. Color is the strength, the intensity of the spotlight, okay? So let's make it like this. You can even choose a color. Let's say I wanted to make a red spotlight. In this case I'm not, but you could. Okay, hotspot. The hotspot, this is the hotspot. It's the inner circle. Check this out. When you can make it smaller or bigger, the hotspot. I advise you to make it a bit like this. You can even use the Alt key if you want to alter just one of the points. Instead of moving the whole thing, if you press Alt, you can just move a bit. Oh, it doesn't work anymore. The Alt key doesn't do what I was expecting it to do. It doesn't do. Oh yeah, it does a bit. You see how it scaled the whole thing. Okay, so you can either do it here in the same thing. You can. This slider is the same than this slider. It's just that it's kind of like more handy to have it here right in the middle. You know, tack. You can use the strength. I kind of like this new technique of sliders that they have come up with. And so that's one spotlight. Then you have gloss. Okay, so hotspot I showed you, that's the size of this. Colorize, exposure. Exposure is a bit different than intensity, because it has something to do with intensity is really the intensity of the hotspot, and exposure is the exposure of the overall spot, you could say, in a way. Okay, and gloss is the way, you see, it's the way the light reacts on the material. So you just have to try. I usually like to leave gloss at -100%, but that's personally my taste. On some photos, you just move it around and see how it looks. Same thing with metallic. It doesn't do much on this photo. You just move it around. It's just different way of reflecting the lights. Now ambience is interesting. Ambience is not the intensity of the hotspot, of the spot itself, because that's the exposure, and it's not the intensity of the hotspot, which is here, which is intensity here. It's the ambience, it's the rest of the photo, you know. So you can balance with basically these three sliders: intensity, exposure, and ambience. You balance light how you want it. I kind of like that. Now if you want to add another spot, this is my first spot. I can just click on here. Now I've added a second spot. So let's make it bigger. Something like this, you know, maybe longer, yeah. If I want to make it longer, let's try the Alt key. Yeah, the Alt key works. Okay, perfect. And let's move it around. Now, okay. Alright, I'm going to lower the intensity, it's a bit strong. Maybe lower the hotspot. Boost a bit the intensity here. And ambience, something maybe like this. And okay, so, and why not use a third one on the face? Just on the face. See, that's possible. So let's move this around. Oops. And position this above the face or in the face. Okay, let's move the hotspot. Okay, and let's lower the intensity big time. I just wanted to brighten up a bit the face. Check it out. Here you've got all the spots. You can see before and after this one, before and after this one. You can even, and before and after this one. Okay, yeah, I'm just bringing back some lights into a face. Oops. Okay, so 3 spots, and I think that this new interface is really handy, you know, kind of like it. It's fast, it's easy. Click on OK. And so now I've got a more interesting portrait. You know, this is how it used to be, pretty flat, and this is how it is now. Pretty fast, you know, and you can recreate some sort of studio light really quick with this new lighting filter on Photoshop's CX6. Okay, so that's the end of our video.